Welcome, it is 1 o'clock on March 29th. That means it is now. What a gift. What a gift to have now. Let's just focus on that, fall into that, and get acquainted with the gift of now. Take a deep breath. Let go of the morning, the previous moments, the things you have to do, your list, and just be here. Surrender. Acknowledge that whatever brought you to this moment is perfect. Your job is to merely receive, to allow, to feel the vibration of the cosmos that is always there. You are an instrument of receiving it and amplifying it, as well as appreciating it. So let's take a second and become aware of the sensations that our body is sending and letting us perceive. Feel your seat in the chair, your feet on the ground, anchored to this amazing planet. Can you feel different temperatures in different parts of your body? Where skin is touching air and where it's touching cloth? In this moment, there's so many things to notice, so many gifts of perception and feeling. Notice the sounds. Try not to label them as car or dog, but merely hear the pitch, hear the vibration. Hear the vibration of my voice coming through your speakers and physically tickling the little hairs in your ear. This now moment that we live in always is filled with gifts. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves to sink into it and not let it pass by as we are occupied in stories of the past or worries of the future, because the now moment is always happening and we are always welcome to wallow in the treasures. Thank you, universe, for all of these gifts. Help us to stay aware of the miracles in every moment. Help us to appreciate and help us to be vessels of love in the world. Amen. Welcome. Welcome. Today's topic is inspiration. I just got back from the Fuente Gathering Festival in Guadalupe Canyon, Mexico. And if you saw the video that I made last year about this event, it was my first time there last year, and the video ended with me erupting in tears as I was overwhelmed with the experience and the love. And I have to warn you that I'm kind of on the edge of tears right now. I kind of feel like my love well is just about to overflow, and anytime I waver and feel a little bit more love, it spills over the top and comes out of my eyes. So, fair warning. I'm going to try to show some videos in the day or from the weekend that I've exported. I haven't edited the full version because I got in late last night, but I want to share what I can to give you a taste of some of the experiences and try to tell some of the stories and give you a little piece of feeling of what this was like. Last year, this place is, I would say it's in the middle of nowhere, but that seems a little bit more accessible than this place. You go through Mexican border, then through this river, this dry lake bed, then through this road that looks like a truck commercial, like, Dodge Tough or something like that. And last year the car I was in broke an axle. 3 other cars that I was in a caravan with had flat tires. So this year I decided, you know what, I'm going to take the shuttle. There's a shuttle that can take you there. This kind of old biodiesel school bus converted. It's very cool, driven by a rad guy named Nico. from Baja Trek. And this sounded like a perfect idea. But the bus picks you up in Tijuana, and we had to drop our stuff off in San Diego. Now, if you've ever been through the Tijuana border, there's like a turnstile, and then another turnstile like 2 blocks away. That's what the border process is. And to go, this event is a camping event, but it's also kind of like Burning Man, so you bring a lot of stuff. And walking more than you can carry through 2 turnstiles that you cannot make multiple trips in, it's like a logic problem. It's like a, like an SAT question of some sort. But, so what we did is we would have to put people on the other side of the turnstile, fill the turnstile with like coolers and bags, and then push it through, and then unload it, and then keep pushing it through, and then get all our people through, and then shuttle to make runs to the 2 blocks to the next turnstile. I would have packed differently had I visualized this. More things with wheels. But the experience on the bus, including the 2 flat tires, was so awesome. It was magical. It was bizarre and crazy, and the rules are different in Mexico if you've never been there. And by different, I mean rare. Unless you're going through a military checkpoint, or there's a police within visible distance, rules are not paramount, which is kind of has a very Burning Man feel. In fact, on the way home, driving from the canyon, as we were going through the flat lake bed, the bus driver stops and says, "All right, this is a perfect place for roof surfing if anyone wants to get up on the roof." So my first thought was, that sounds crazy. And then my second thought was, when do you get opportunities like this? So 9 of us got up on the roof, and then Brandy and I decided, well, when you're gonna roof surf, you should do it naked, right? So we then took off our clothes and sat on the top of the bus as we went through 15 miles an hour through the dry lake bed. And there's something about being on the top of a roof that I did not know is such an aphrodisiac, because before the bus finally stopped before the main road, Brandy and I had, I think the term is made love. So that was one of those epic once-in-a-lifetime experiences. And oh, you don't believe me? Well then why don't I play a little video? All right, let's see it. So that was an epic adventure. The speed that we were actually surfing on, that was just for while Dimitri was outside taking video, we actually were going significantly faster as we were riding along. And occasionally we would hit a bump and like slide off. And it was, my arms were like burning from holding on to the bus by the end of it. It was, like I said, once in a lifetime. Well, actually, who knows? Maybe I'll take the bus next year and it'll be once a year. But I want to talk about inspiration, because that was an overwhelming feeling this weekend. Here's this event that takes place very hard to get to, and people bring to it so much art, music, equipment, love, and to share it. Some of the most amazing things were the performances that people brought. On Friday night and on Saturday night, there was significant performances. Friday night they did an opening ceremony that was amazing. David is a friend of mine who is a composer and producer, and he was put in charge of creating this ceremony, and was given the task of not making a unique tradition, not one that borrows from other traditions, but really creating its own. And so he created this, and it involved everyone. It started with people putting making intentions and putting in this incense into this altar. And then there was a singing experience where they led people in, it's going to make me cry, basically leading people through I, you, we, us, love. And I'll play a little clip of it. Yes, it was amazing, and it was this community of people, and the payoff for all these people and all the effort and all their practice was to share it and to create this thing for all of the people there. And it was like, it's kind of like, you know, all the talk about gifting and the magic and how that affects you and other people when you gift, and it really comes down to inspiration. I was so inspired by the amount of passion that people were putting into things with the intention of enhancing the love and life experience of their brothers and sisters. And Kimbermat asked if that sculpture in the middle was the one that Rebecca made with Yona and Kiwi helped and a bunch of people. And yes, that was, the sculpture was called Infinite Pulse. And that was another example of thing that was so inspiring. This was a sculpture called Infinite Pulse that was kind of like, well, I'll show you another clip of it just plain. It had LED lights and it was gorgeous, and it was the centerpiece of the main stage. And it was, again, just people putting the art, passion, with the intention of inspiring and creating and gifting and elevating. It was amazing. I'm running out of adjectives, but so that was there in the center, and it was gorgeous in the daytime, this beautiful metal work and glass, and then at night it had the beautiful light patterns. The second night, on Saturday night, there was another show by a group called Unifier, which is a fire troupe. Now, if you've been in the Burning Man community for a while, you've seen a lot of fire performances, a lot of people spinning poi. It's a beautiful art, and as I've talked about recently, I've gained an appreciation of the flow element of poi and flow toys, and how there's more to it than performance. It's also a personal connection to the flow. But Unifier takes it to a degree that it's like Cirque du Soleil plus Barnum and Bailey plus fire, and they do it to inspire. I believe they do these shows once at festivals for us. These are our friends. These aren't like performers flown in. These are the friends, people in the community that practice, and create and innovate. I mean, they're not just doing poi. They create things. This was a Western themed skit, and so they have that whole audio storyline. And every time, it's not just like somebody goes on the stage and performs and somebody else goes on stage. While the skits are going on, there's other things going on here, and then there's shadow things happening. It is, I mean, an unbelievable amount of effort, an unbelievable amount of practice, an unbelievable amount of talent that goes into these things. I mean, my jaw was just, it was incredible. I mean, I hope there is video available of some of these things soon. I only have little clips of them, but it was unbelievable. Here's a little bit, just a little bitty clip of the Unifier performance. There was a part of the skit where it was like a sideshow, and so here are people doing fire performances involved with a sideshow theme.
Step right up, See for yourself the most spectacular show in the world. Banged your best friend when you ran out of gas in a stolen Benz. But the day you found out the mailman's you following y'all. He smokes loose up another dollar for all the last calls. And y'all just getting started for when you put your pants with your fire. You just fought it for the time you did your homework, but it wasn't required. Nights the DJs wasn't.
Amazing, and it was act after act after act of. It just kept going and beautiful and amazing, and it was like I was inspired. And it wasn't just the big things that were inspiring too. It was meals that people cooked. It was Grasshopper, who showed up in the middle of the night and introduced himself as Joseph and introduced himself as the woman next to him as Mary and asked if there was a manger that we could rest our head. Such a bizarre conversation that after he left, I actually looked to Brandy to make sure that it didn't all happen in my head. But he came drove through Mexico, not knowing why, but it felt like he wanted to contribute to the event. So we had a generator and lights and wood letters. So he spelled out love on our big area and played music and had a radio show that he did in the middle of the night and kept promising people that I had donated a motorcycle to the raffle, which luckily nobody claimed it. And then, in addition to the inspiration of fellow people, was the inspiration of this place. This magical place that is filled with hot springs. So every campsite has a tub that is filled with hot water, a little jacuzzi with natural hot springs that you soak in and take in the healing properties of this water. And so you go and visit people and soak with them and dance with them and hug them. I mean, I think I hugged more than I spoke this weekend. I mean, I would just see people hug, see people hug, see people. I actually went to somebody gave a seminar on the art of hugging. And everyone's like, is that yours? I'm like, no, we have multiple hugging experts at this place. Inspiration! So, one thing that I did, as something that I brought down, was I kind of wanted to acknowledge people that had inspired me. I didn't think about this in advance, but I went around to people and especially people that had done the performances or people that I had been inspired by in the previous months or weeks or just during the weekend, and I said, congratulations. Did you hear? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, then I want you, here it is. It's official. And I gave them a certificate of awesomeness that said, you are amazing. Your smile is a gift to the world. Who you are is perfect. Who you are becoming is divine. The way you continually grow into your true nature is inspiring. The light you shine on the world is magnificent. This certificate officially recognizes you as a miracle. Thank you for being you. And so I handed those out all weekend, and it just felt so wonderful to kind of just really officially tell people how inspiring they are and how wonderful they are and what a gift they are to my life and the world. Because I think we all are. And the more that we know that, the more that we remind each other that, the more we can appreciate it in people around us and in ourselves and see the gifts that we have, see the inspiration. That's everywhere. So let's have a HugNation hug, and then I'll show you another video that is in the process of being made. But let's just have a hug. So wherever you are physically, let go of that and know where you are in your heart, which is in this magical place of connection. and give yourself a hug. And as you feel the arms, know that these arms are amazing tools to create, to nourish, to experience, to feel. And as they hug you, imagine that they're not just hugging you, but they're embracing all the inspiring people in your life. All the teachers, whether they intend to teach you, whether they teach you through frustration, whether they teach you through wisdom, whether they teach you through a sparkle in their eye. Embrace all of them. And then notice those arms hugging you and feel that they are not your arms, but they're the arms of everyone you inspire. Just by being who you are, just by living in your gifts, just by listening to your truth, just by laughing and smiling and loving. Whether you know it or not, you inspire people every day. You are a gift to the world. So as these arms squeeze you, just receive. Feel the thanks. Feel the appreciation for what you bring to the world. Not out of effort, not out of labor, but out of surrendering to your nature, surrendering to the love, surrendering to the vibration that makes you perfect. And as sometimes we forget how amazing we are, and sometimes we notice things in others that make us forget how perfect they are, let's forgive ourselves and forgive them, and just squeeze one more time. Take a deep breath and know the inspiration we bring. Know the inspiration we feel. And just sit in that place of elevation, of love, of cosmic flow that is only us. It is what we are. We are a part of it all. We are a part of that flow. That flow is interconnected to us. There is no separation. The inspiration is an infinite pulse. Take a deep breath. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all the love warriors, happy HugNation. Thank you for the inspiration you bring. Thank you for the inspiration you are. Thank you for being who you are in the world and walking your walk and speaking your truth and laughing your laugh. You are a gift. Thank you. I love you.
You only live once. Enjoy the color.
What a now!